All right, welcome to another Eagle Rant video. Um, 4 o'clock today, the Eagles have to get to a 53-man roster because that is the deadline. And so far, the Eagles have made a few moves today, including releasing second-round pick Sidney Jones, Sharif Miller, Rasul Douglas, and Joe Osman. Three of the four guys I have mentioned were picked within the fourth round. Sidney Jones was drafted in the second round in 2017, and Rasul Douglas was drafted in the third round of that same draft class. That's not good. Sharif Miller was drafted in the fourth round this past season. Um, this just goes to show you that, look, Howie can't really draft that well. That's his weakness. Howie is a good GM, don't get me wrong. He's good when it comes to cap space, trades, this, that, and the third. But when it comes to drafting, forget about it. Because most of the players that he drafts aren't even on the team anymore. The only good players I can name you that are still on the team that Howie has drafted are Wentz, Miles Sanders, Andre Dillard. That's who I can name at the top of my head. I'm sure there's a couple more, but that's all I can name. Anyway, we cut some pretty. We cut players who were drafted within the last 3 years. Sidney Jones, he had high expectations. He would have likely been our first round draft pick back in 2017 had he not had a Achilles tear during his pro day. To me, and according to a lot of people, he was viewed as one of the best cornerbacks going into that draft. But Eagles drafted in the second round. They ended up picking him over Joe Mixon. But it's okay now. I guess we have Miles Sanders. But Sidney Jones was drafted 2017. He's played a total of 22 games according to Pro Football Reference, and in those 22 games, he only started 8 of them. He's been in the league for 3 years, only played 22 games. So in other words, he would be, on average he would have played 7 games a season. But, you know, 2017 he had that Achilles injury, he played 1 game. He didn't start that game. Then the next 2 years he only started 2018 he started 4 games of the 9 games he played, and 2019 he started 4 games of the 12 he played. So, and his stats over 3 years were 50 combined tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 2 picks, with a total of like 8 pass deflections. So, Sidney Jones, he wasn't really productive. The only thing I can remember him doing was that clutch pass deflection against the Cowboys to save the season. That's all I could think of, honestly. Now, if I go to Rasul Douglas, drafted in the same draft class, only in the third round, he played a total of 14 games. He played a total of 46 games. He started in a total of 18. He had 5 interceptions. He was more he was more productive than Sidney Jones, but still, he wasn't that good. He was, to me, he's a definition of mediocre. He had 1 or 2 solid games. Other than that, he didn't do well. So he gets cut too. Oh well, I don't know what to tell. This just shows you, like, look, Howie really is not that good at drafting. But what's it called? I believe our cornerbacks right now, with Sidney Jones and Rasul Douglas being released, are Darius Slay, Nikhil Roby Coleman, Avante Maddox, Cravon LeBlanc, who I think should get more playing time because he actually shows up when he's actually starting. And recently extended Craig James. If you think about it, Craig James did save our season too. Because against the Packers, fourth down, I believe, he batted the ball away causing Nigel Brown to pick it off to seal the game. If it wasn't for that and the Packers got that touchdown, we would have gone 8-8 and not go to the playoffs. I'm not saying he's the main reason why we went to the playoffs, but he played a key part in that. So, but we didn't see Craig James a lot. He's like our last corner. He's at the bottom of the depth chart when it comes to our corners. But with Cindy Jones and Brazil Douglas cut, you're going to see you're going to see Cravon LeBlanc get some more playing time, which is good because when he actually started, he did very well. 2018 playoffs, he was the highest graded cornerback with an 85.6. Um, I don't know why he doesn't get playing time. Like he shows up. Before we got Slay and Roby Coleman, I viewed Cravon LeBlanc as our best cornerback. He's highly underrated and underappreciated. He is a fan favorite, though. Um, Also, the Eagles are still trying to trade away Alshon Jeffrey, but the main problem is that he has it. It's a lot of money on his contract, and he's still recovering from a foot injury that he suffered against the Giants last season. I don't blame any of the teams for not trading for him. Honestly, if I were any other GM, I'd wait for the Eagles to release Jeffrey, then sign him. Um, nope, nobody's going to trade for him. I don't know why they're still going to do that because I think he's guaranteed like 60 million or something this season. He's a large basic in regular without making it complicated. He has a large cap hit. Like, look, he's aging. One, two, he's recovering from a devastating injury. Uh, I don't blame him. Like, nobody is going to want an aging wide receiver who's getting hurt and has a large cap hit. I'm sorry. The Eagles are stuck on this one. Now, he's supposedly going to be a key part in our offense this year whenever he comes back. Um, I heard he's coming. He has a chance of playing in September. Who knows with this team? Our team, it seems like our players are made out of glass because it seems like every player I look at, lower body injury. Carson Wentz, lower body injury. Miles Sanders, lower body injury. So anyway, as of right now, our roster sits at 57. We still have to move on from 4 players, and there is an hour and 45 minutes left before the deadline. I want to know. I don't know who's going to be the next 4 people who are going to get called and saying, "Look, we got to let you go." But I have no idea. This is going to be interesting. Uh, the Washington football team. I hate that name. Washington. They released just yesterday or the day before. They released Adrian Peterson, which to me came as a shocker. He was your starting running back. He eclipsed 1,000 yards. He eclipsed 1,000 yards 2 seasons ago. Last year, for a guy who is 34 years old as a running back, was just under 900 rushing yards last year. I would love the Eagles to pick him up to a 1 year deal that's cheap because one, he's a power back. Two, he's a veteran, and three, he can help mentor Miles Sanders and the rest of our running backs. Because I remember the Eagles were looking for a veteran running back and a power back because we need one. And hey, Adrian Peterson's perfect. He should come cheap because of his age. I would love to have him on the team. Do I think it'll happen? I don't think so, but I know that Howie will look into it because literally, look, it's Eagles. Every player that pops up in the news, the Eagles are always looking at him. So we'll see what happens there. But as of right now, we just cut 3 players that we drafted within the first 4 rounds, and we're trying to trade away a player that is just simply untradeable. No, you're not going to get an offer. we're screwed next season. We're going to be over the cap by like 70 million, which is god awful. I don't know what Howie's going to do, but he's definitely going to restructure some deals. But all I know is that a lot of the players you're going to see this year, you're not going to see next year. Like, I have a feeling we're not going to see Brandon Graham, Deshaun Jackson, Malik Jackson. We're not going to see a lot of our fan favorites come back next year. I know Cravon LeBlanc. He's on a 1 year deal. His contract expires after this season. So does Roby Coleman's. Um, it's going to be crazy after this season. There are going to be a lot of departures and trades. This, that, and the third. Uh, who knows? So, anyway, this has been going on for about just under 11 minutes. It's 2:18 right now. I'll probably post another one of these within the hour or so to talk about the other players that are getting cut, depending on who they are. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll keep you posted.